Hey everybody, welcome back to The Opinion Corner, where I basically just talk into a mic and just talk about whatever is on my mind today. Today I wanted to talk about the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack. I've been wanting DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for a while now, and I'm really excited to see that it's finally going to happen. Not to mention, they're going to double the roster of tracks, which is pretty exciting. I doubt they're going to add more characters or anything because it's called the Booster Course Pack, or the Booster Course Pass, but it'd be cool if they added like characters like Diddy Kong and all the others that were missing from past Mario Kart games. Maybe the return of characters like PD Piranha and stuff. They have the models from Tour, you know, maybe add some costumes too, but still 48 new tracks is still pretty exciting, which is what I want to talk about today. So I have a list actually, because I was curious on what tracks haven't been remade yet, because we're seeing a bit of both. We're seeing some tracks that have never been remade, like Shroom Ridge and the Tour tracks. Well, I mean, I guess the Tour tracks is kind of like cheating because, well, the tracks came after 8, but they're also remaking some tracks that they've already remade before, like Wii Coconut Mall and Choco Mountain. So I have a list of one Mario Kart track that hasn't been remade before that I would like to see in the Booster Course Pack. And then there's one Mario Kart track that has been in a retro track before that I would like to see again. Now, obviously, I have to preface this by saying, you know, this is just what I think would be cool. I'm sure a lot of picks here suit much more to my tastes than anything else, especially this first pick that I'm going to talk about today. But let me know what you guys want to see in the Booster Course Pass for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm interested to see what else people would be interested in. Would you want to see more tracks that haven't been remade before? Or would you like to see tracks that have been remade before but you want to see in like glorious HD or just in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe engine? See how they play and stuff. So without further ado, let's go on with the list. So the one track I would like to pick for the Super Mario Kart category would be the Vanilla Lake tracks. Now, from what I understand, ice levels don't seem to be very popular in Mario Kart, most likely due to the traction of the ice paths, catering more to characters and vehicles that have better off-road in some departments than others. But especially in Mario Kart 8, GCN's Sherbetland has become my favorite track in the game, just because of how pretty it is and just how nice the night snowy design is. So for the most part, I actually quite like ice tracks in Mario Kart, mostly due to the visual department, but at least GCN's Sherbetland is pretty fun to drive on, or at least I like to think so. But the Vanilla Lake tracks haven't been touched ever since they introduced the retro tracks, so it would be really interesting to see what they could do with them. In Mario Kart Wii, there's a custom track for GBA Snowland, which is kind of like Mario Kart 8ified, where they took a lot of liberties with designing the track, and I think if they did something like that for SNES Vanilla Lake, it can make it like pretty unique, pretty fun to drive on, and also hopefully pretty or nice looking. So basically the two reasons I picked SNES Vanilla Lake, I don't really mind which one, would just be because it hasn't been represented before, and I think it would be nice to see in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's graphics. Now the next pick is for Mario Kart 64, and well, this was kind of an easy pick because it's the only Mario Kart 64 track that hasn't been remade yet, that being N64 Wario Stadium. This was most likely not remade due to it being pretty long, though that didn't stop them from remaking N64 Rainbow Road, I guess. It'd be really cool if they bring it to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they can make it like a 2-lap track or something. But besides that, I don't really have much of an attachment. It's kind of just like the only one I could pick for this category. So we'll just go with N64 Wario Stadium from here. There could also be some pretty interesting ideas that they could take this Mario Kart 8ified version of Wario Stadium. Like maybe for some parts, you kind of like dip down into like an underground section and then you kind of drive on the walls and then you have to like surface up and then there's like a small glider section. If they do remake it, I hope they, you know, play around with it a bit. Next up is Mario Kart Super Circuit, and for this one I picked Boo Lake. Now there's a lot of tracks I could have picked here, such as Yoshi Desert, Riverside Park, maybe even Bowser's Castle 4, but for the latter, there's going to be an explanation for that later on. I mainly picked Boo Lake because it would be cool to see another like spooky ghost track, and the SNES and GBA layouts are pretty simple, so it would be cool to see how Nintendo would, you know, Mario Kart 8ify them. Other than that, there's not really much of a decision behind it. Hey everyone, Posehead at Scrags here. That's actually not all I have to say for this track, because while I was replaying it so I can get the footage for this video, I actually had a couple more thoughts behind it, and the more I played it, the more I realized that I kinda do want to see this track in Mario Kart 8. I feel like it has more personality than the SNES Ghost Valley tracks. It's also slightly longer too. I wonder if they could actually bring out the lake part of the Boo Lake too. And yeah, now that's all I have to say about this track. Now speaking of Bowser's Castle, let's look at my pick for the Mario Kart Double Dash track. being, well, GCN Bowser's Castle. This is probably one of my favorite tracks in Mario Kart Double Dash, and probably in my top 3 favorite Bowser's Castles. I just think the mood and layout is pretty cool. I think the track balances the outside version of Bowser's Castle and the inside version of Bowser's Castle pretty well. Like in the middle section, before you get to the Bowser throwing fire at you, there's this little castle section where you have to drive your way on the outer part of the castle. There's just something I really like about the track that I would love to see in Mario Kart 8. Mostly because it hasn't been played before, so it'd be really cool to be able to play it again, especially on a modern engine, and to see, what they would do with it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they, kept it untouched, because I think it's a perfectly fine track as it is. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite picks that I want to see again. Now let's go into Mario Kart DS. Now my main pick here is DS Figure 8 Circuit, which I've already made a tweet about it, just because it could be Nintendo's one final chance to redeem themselves for not putting the 8 track in Mario Kart 8. But my real pick would be DS Mario Circuit. This is probably my favorite Mario Circuit layout of all time. I think it's a fun, simple track that's not too short, not too long, not too challenging, and not too simple, and has a bunch of things that kind of change up the atmosphere. At the start, it's more of a race course, racetrack, stadium setting. Then you go to the sandy pits where you see the piranha plants, and then there's this pipe that goes into the hill section, and then you go back into the race course with the stadium all surrounding the goalpost. I actually like this track so much, I wanted to try and play every single version of it for a video, but yeah, besides the custom track and the actual version, I couldn't really think of many other ways to play DS Mario Circuit. But maybe this could be Nintendo's 3rd version of DS Mario Circuit. Next up from Mario Kart Wii is an interesting pick, because the more we go into the more recent Mario Kart titles, the more tracks we have available to choose from. And there's a lot of favorites that I would like to see remade. Some of my honorable mention picks being Toad's Factory, Dry Dry Ruins, and Bowser's Castle, but I actually want to see DK Summit. Now there's a lot of talk going around that Nintendo is planning on just using a lot of the tracks from Tour and just try and port them, especially considering that the N64 Choco Mountain remake is looking more like the Tour version than the DS version. So there's one reason I would like to see the Tour version of DK Summit in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's because they finally replaced the Mario snowboarding statue with Donkey Kong! Let's go! I hope they keep the double cut if they port this track to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I highly doubt it. Probably the single cut is going to stay, at least, if anything. But yeah, we don't have any, down the mountain sort of track. No, we have Mount Wario. Well, I guess we don't have that many. Mario Kart we had 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe can have 2 as well. Unless I'm forgetting another one. Just put DK Summit. I should fix the DK snowboard. He deserves to be the statue on that mountain. Oh my god, I'm looking at this list again, and I am just realizing I picked a lot of ice tracks. Now I know I spoiled this pick, but let's look at my pick for the Mario Kart 7 track I'd like to see remade. Now only 4 of these tracks were remade into Mario Kart 8, with a 5th one being added in Wave 1 of the Booster Course pack. There's a lot of tracks that I would like to see remade, such as Shy Guy Bazaar. I think this would look pretty cool in Mario Kart 8, especially with all of the lights. I feel like Mario Kart 8 does a really good job with the night tracks, or tracks with darker skies. Rock Mountain would definitely be my 2nd place pick, just because I think that would be really, really fun to play on. And Warrior Shipyard would be a pretty cool track I wouldn't mind seeing come back, but my ice course bias goes to Rosalina's Ice World. Once again, it's an ice track, it's a nice track, and it's a night track. There's a lot to love about this track. It's pretty cool. It's pretty. I like the beginning section. I like how you could drive on top of the ice or under the ice in the middle part. And then there's the icicle caves that I think would look really pretty in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And that's pretty much the basis. I guess it's also pretty fun to drive on as well. Being a Special Cup track, it's also somewhat difficult to drive on, making it a fun little challenge to play. But I wouldn't mind seeing any of the 4 tracks that I've mentioned, including the 3 honorable mentions. Actually come to think of it, maybe I like this Mario Circuit here too. I think I like Mario Circuit. And last but not least is Mario Kart Tour. Now there's quite a bit of tracks that they can select from, which clearly they have. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 in the first wave. But of the one I picked, it's another ice track, damn it. I am actually just realizing this now. I didn't think it was that much of a bias, I swear. But I picked Tour Merry Mountain. I think this track has the most fun layout of all of the Tour unique tracks. Because a lot of the regular ones I find are super basic and streamlined. Probably because, you know, you can't really take that many shortcuts super easily in Tour because of how much it steers you out of the off-road. But Merry Mountain has like a split path at the start, which I think is really cool. The scenery is also quite nice, and I could imagine the ending section could get pretty intense in races. And, you know, the 3 specials: it's a nice track, it's a nice track, and it's a night track. Alright, so let's look at my picks for the one Mario Kart track that has been a retro track before that I would like to see again. So for the Super Mario Kart slot, I would like to see one of the Koopa Beaches back. I think those were the most fun tracks to drive on in my opinion in the originals, and I quite like the remake in the DS title. I can also imagine it being pretty fun in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's engine, and who knows, maybe they could like improvise with it and add like a couple of underwater sections like they did with Cheep Cheep Beach. Now for my Mario Kart 64 pick, obviously there's like 15 tracks I could have chosen from, but for this one I wanted to pick N64 Bowser's Castle. And the reason I picked this track is because of how bright the lava can get in the later parts of the track. And just imagining how much that would like glow in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's, you know, graphics. Not to mention you could have like maybe a glider section at the end, you know, where all the pillars come from in Mario Kart Wii. Maybe you could keep the cut from there too. It's also a pretty lengthy track, which I think would be pretty fun to drive on since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is already somewhat fast. So I'd imagine it would feel a lot less sluggish to drive on than in Wii. But I mostly picked this track because of the visual department. Just imagining, you know, all the geysers just like shooting up and like lighting up your character and the whole castle around it. Just the entire idea of it playing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe seems pretty fun to me. Third up is Mario Kart Super Circuit, and that's, well, GBA Rainbow Road. Wait, no. GBA Rainbow Road has never been a... What? Why did I put that there? And this one was kind of hard to pick from me, just because a lot of the tracks are either, like, already remade in Mario Kart 8, such as Mario Circuit, Cheese Land, and the newly added Sky Garden that's coming in Wave 1. And then there's some tracks that, well, were kind of added just because the Mario Kart DS retros were kind of safe, such as Peach Circuit and Luigi Circuit. And I wasn't much of a fan of Shy Guy Beach in Mario Kart Wii, so I guess all that's left is another Bowser's Castle pick! Whoa! And there's 3 we can choose from. Bowser's Castle 1, that was remade in Mario Kart 7, Bowser's Castle 2, that was remade in Mario Kart DS, and Bowser's Castle 3, that was remade in Mario Kart Wii. And obviously my bias has to go with Bowser's Castle 2. Now if you've watched the main channel or you just known me in general, you'd probably be surprised that I wouldn't pick Bowser's Castle 3 because that's my favorite track in Mario Kart Wii. And the reason I picked Bowser's Castle 2 instead of 3 is because I feel like the track is a lot more fun and a lot longer. I think the length is pretty fun with a bunch of stuff to kind of just like keep you entertained while you race. It's a super fun track that if I had to see a Super Circuit track be remade again, then I would definitely pick this one. In my opinion, I feel like it would fit perfectly in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So yeah, Bowser's Castle 2. Now we're on to Mario Kart Double Dash. There's a lot of tracks that I would like to see come back that I feel like would work really well in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's engine. Some examples being Mushroom Bridge and Mario Circuit, but I'm gonna have to go with my Daisy bias and pick Daisy Cruiser. I think the track is super unique with how it plays, and although it was a pretty recent retro being added in Mario Kart 7, I think Mario Kart 8's engine would work much better than Mario Kart 7's. Especially the underwater section in the boiler room near where it takes you like into the cannon that shoots you back up into the track. I feel like the layout itself would complement Mario Kart 8 more than Mario Kart 7, so that's where my pick goes for my one track that's already been remade from Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart DS also has some really good picks here. We got Luigi's Mansion, Waluigi Pinball, and a bunch of them are already Mario Kart 8 like Tick-Tock Clock or Wario Stadium. So if I had to pick one retro that's already been remade, well, what else to pick than Airship Fortress, which is another retro that has been remade quite recently. Honestly, I feel like Mario Kart 7 had one of the best track selections. What's not to love about Airship Fortress? It's a huge giant ship that you like infiltrate. The bullet bills coming after you at the start is probably the most memorable part of the track. Super intense and fun trying to like weave your way around them. And then as you maneuver inside of the airship and then try to escape, only to shoot into the tower and then drift a bunch, which I think would also benefit Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Ultra Mini Turbo, and then back you go right into the ship fighting the bullet bills again. Just a fun and memorable track that I feel like would fit really well in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And then the final game, because, well, all of the Mario Kart 7 tracks that have been remade were remade in Mario Kart 8, and then all of the tracks that have been remade in Mario Kart Tour, well, it's impossible because Mario Kart Tour came after Mario Kart 8. There's only 7 of the 16 tracks that were introduced in Mario Kart Wii to pick, and 3 of them are already in Mario Kart 8, the 4th one being Coconut Mall being added in Wave 1. So that leaves 3 tracks. The one that everyone picks online, my least favorite track in Mario Kart Wii, and Mushroom Gorge. Though I do have to put Maple Treeway as an honorable mention because as much as I don't really like the track, I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's engine would fit perfectly for a track like this. And also I think it would look really pretty, because the track already is pretty nice to look at. But my pick is gonna be for Mushroom Gorge. I think it's a super fun track with a bunch of cool little cuts, especially how they added the gap cut back, and it's a lot easier to do because of the blue mushroom at the end of the track. The entire thing is just super fun to drive on, and I like bouncing on the mushrooms. I feel like Mario Kart 7 would probably complement it best, but who knows? Only one way to find out. Put it in Mario Kart 8, Definitely would think this would spice up a lot of like matches just with how the track is designed. So I'd be really excited to see this pop up in one of the waves. And that's my picks and hopes for all of the tracks that I would like to see remade, whether it be for the first time, or again, for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. If you made it to the end, thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna try and put out more Mario Kart content on the main channel, especially with this recent announcement, because I'm really excited for what they have in store for us, as well as just having new tracks to play on. So hey, if this is your first video of mine, then maybe if you're interested, you can go check out the main channel in the description below. And click on the funny red subscribe button if you haven't yet. Whether it be on this one, which I just post like whatever I want here, or the main channel, where I also post whatever I want there. But this one even more so. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!